Hello everyone. My name is Jewher Ilham. Most of people here know me as Ilham talked to his daughter and Elliot's second little daughter, or niece. Is it how we call it in English? I call him Shushu, which means uncle in Chinese. He's like a family. No, he is my family, and he's the person that my family members in China trusted the most and in the whole world, and he's the person that I trusted the most in the whole universe. Today I would like to share some personal stories of me and Elliot, how I knew him and how he helped me or taught me and educated me until I became who I am today. And yeah, the first picture, it's a very simple PowerPoint. It's not even considered as PowerPoint. So I just put some pictures of me and Elliot. So the picture on the left was, I guess, it was 2011. That was the first time when my dad met Elliot. And the person on the lady on the right side is Yusei, who she was in the Skype, and on the left is Wang Lishun. Both of them, they are my father's very close friends, and that's how they met Elliot. And this picture was my dad at the international airport. It was 4 years ago, 2013, February 2nd. Last time I saw my father, and also the first time I met Elliot. At this time, my dad, I never even heard about Elliot before when I was in the international airport, like 4 years ago. But that day, my dad just gave me a name card. And I didn't know who that was. I just hold the name card and I put it in my pocket. I didn't care who the name card was. I just, okay, my dad gave me a name card. And then I'm so glad that I'm so lucky and fortunate that my dad gave me that name card at that time. I was stopped at Chicago airport, and they didn't let me. They wanted to send me back to China because of my visa. I was supposed to come with my dad, and my dad wasn't with me at that time. And and I didn't speak English, almost no English at all at that time. I couldn't explain to them. All I could tell them was, oh, my dad, police caught them. So they thought that I was more dangerous. Yeah. And they asked me if anyone I can contact, and then I remember, oh, I have the name card. I don't know who that is, but at least I can give it a try. So I just gave the name card, and it was Elliot. He amazingly somehow managed and called the State Department or White House, and I got into US, and I came to Indianapolis. He drove all the way to the airport and picked me up. That time, without sleep for 40 hours, didn't eat for more than a day, and super sad, super anxious, super depressed, and I had no English. I was wondering, oh my God, who this is? I didn't know this person, and what am I gonna do now? But okay, at least he got me here. I have to trust him. I have no choice. And then, oh, another lucky thing, he spoke Chinese, so which was like, oh, for me. And then he took me to his house, and the first someone I met was Sophia. Hi, Sophia. I had really bad memory when I was 5 years old with dogs, so I was really scared of dogs. So when I got to his house, I heard the barking of dog. I really freaked out at that time, and I was already tired and exhausted. And I was, what? You scared of dog? Yes. And then, but I just sneaked into the house while he locked Sophia in the bathroom for a few minutes, and then, but because of Sophia, I got over fear of dog, and then we became good friends. So yeah, that's what the first day of me meeting Elliot and Sophia. And forgive me of taking screenshots of my Instagram. I did it on purpose actually because of the caption. So on the left was first time when I was in Elliot's office. That was Goodbody Hall, the old building for the Global and International Studies. So I took a picture. Elliot hates selfies. He hates it. And then he was like, "Come on, Jewher, stop it. I don't like selfies." And I'm like, "Please." And then he's like, okay. So that was the first time. Oh, I look really young. So, and this was in the Skype. We were Skyping Thursday, and that was the first time I met John Lee and his family at Elliot's house. The first month I lived in Elliot's house for a month, and then I moved to a dorm. So yeah, this was the picture of us Skyping. It was a very nice moment because at that time my dad wasn't arrested, and then we could still Skype and then talk happily. Yeah. Oh no, he was arrested at that time. He was arrested. So, and the next picture, please. Yeah. This was 3 years ago at this room. This is my second time going into this room now. 3 years ago, I came here and I just started learning English for like a year or something. And then Elliot helped me with my speech. Actually, he almost helped me with all my speeches. For whatever the public events or my school events or the class presentations, he always helped me. And then mark red. Grammar mistakes. And he always helped me. He didn't only help me with my English, he helped me with everything. And that was when we talked. It was this film, and last 15 minutes, my dad wasn't also in the film, so I had a 5-minute speech, and then my legs were shaking as well. Also now, my legs are still shaking. Yeah. Next week. But it was 2014 May, I believe. So I'd never been to big events like this, and then Elliot went with me, and we took a picture at the red carpet. And the reason I put this picture because of when I first got here, I didn't speak English, so of course I haven't read any English books before. And he always thinks, I'm a scholar, and how could my niece not read any English books? You have to be well educated, you have to be smart, you have to read lots of books. So he forced me to read English books at that time, and the first book he gave me was To Kill a Mockingbird. And he monitored, he was examining me, what the first chapter was about, what the second chapter was about. Yes, and this is the author of David and Goliath. It's another book, and they also told me about it. So, and also we were talking about it in the class, so I read the book, and he was really happy. So when we were in the pen gala, he asked one of our friends at one of the staff over there, and asked if the writer of that book was there, and then she said yes, so he went there and found him for me. So we took a picture. Yeah, I wish we had a picture of 3 of us. Yes, my first trip to Canada. When I first got here, because my visa didn't allow me to stay for like a month, so I had to renew my visa every month. So Elliot would drive me to Indianapolis every month, and then of course it's exhausted and it's annoying. You have to go somewhere and just, all we needed was just a stamp, and then we have to drive all the way back to Bloomington. So we figured out that we need to change it, so we have to have a new visa, student visa. So Elliot and I didn't drive, but he drove more than 12 hours to Canada. And I remember that it was October, end of September-ish, and then it was cold, and then we stopped by the Niagara Falls. Is that how to pronounce it? Yeah, this was front of it, and he also said I didn't want a selfie. I still force him to. I always force him with selfies. So I remember the road was really hard to drive at that time because even though it was September, October, but it has a little bit, I don't know how to say it in English, the snow and rain mixed in together. And in Canada, it was not the weather wasn't really good. And the sun was really like too strong that Elliot, he kept complaining about, oh, my eyes are hurting, my eyes are hurting. Oh, you Uyghurs always bring me trouble. And he always jokes about this. And I found this picture because his hands looks like he's dancing. So I loved dancing since I was a kid, and then when he was in Bloomington, he went to almost all my performances, and he was always supportive. And he always says one thing is, when you go up on the stairs, I'm gonna clap. When other people go up, I'm gonna throw eggs. That's what he always did. And that was the time when Elliot went to Beijing. That was 2013, before my dad was arrested. And he was at my apartment in Beijing. And I remember my dad, because I didn't have a computer, I didn't have a laptop, so my dad bought me a laptop. In China, it's a really old one. You know, the past time, all the laptops are really heavy and big, not unlike now, it's like small and thin, and it was really heavy. So Elliot carried it all the way from Beijing to Mongolia, and from Mongolia to United States, and then he was coming, oh, you Uyghurs always bring me trouble. Yeah, that was nice. And Elliot took me to, accompanied me with me to almost all the important events. Whichever could be helpful for my dad's case. So we met the Executive Secretary of State, and that was when we were on our way to this department, and I forced him for a selfie, and of course he hated it. And this was a picture taken by professional photographers, of course. So yeah, my dad and Elliot, I can't understand why they became friends, because they share so many similar personalities. They are so, sometimes I feel like, oh my God, you talk just like my dad. And then both of them, they have really good sense of humor. Everybody agrees. Yeah. And both of them, they're very smart, and thinks they're very smart. Right? And both of them, and we all agree, they love to help people, and they take other people's, they consider other people's problem as their own problem. Both of them dedicated their life on helping others, like entire life, just to help people. Elliot, he did not only, his studies focused on Tibetan studies, but he did not only help Tibetan people, he helped me, Uyghur people, American people, or probably Chinese, and my dad, same goes to him. And this was when we were in Europe. I never been to Europe before, and then he was with me at the Europe trip. It was last October, and this was in front of the European Parliament because my dad was nominated for the Sakharov Award. Excuse me. And just notice he has glasses on. I remember that at the Europe trip, I was very nervous. I was afraid that I would say something wrong, and I was nervous that my dad might not get nominated, and then we just spent like so much money on traveling to Europe, and then we had to go back like with nothing. I was really worried and sad, and then he kept telling me, it's alright, the award doesn't mean anything, as long as people get to know him, and that's all that matters. And then he's so positive all the time, and he teaches me to be positive, and he tells me to be optimistic and all the time, and he's so supportive, and he always stands by my side. Even maybe he's not there with me, but he's always calling and checking on me. Are you doing well? Do you need help? Are you okay? And I can say that I have no secrets with Elliot. I tell him everything, even my first boyfriend, everything. And even things I cannot tell my parents, my dad or my mom, when I first time failed my exam, when I was studying English, I told Elliot, I failed my exam, please don't tell my dad. He was like, okay, well you have to study hard and do well this semester. I was like, okay. Because I missed so many classes because of my dad's advocacy, so I missed so many. I even missed one of my exams, and then I told him, he's like, okay, that's acceptable, but if you failed the exam because of you are not studying hard, then I'm gonna be really angry. And then okay. And this was also in Europe when we accepted Martin and also worked together. And yeah, I like that in the screen they put all of our names together, and then when excuse me, I remember before getting on the stage, he asked me, "Are you sure I should get on?" Of course you should. I said, you're the best person, should be on the stage with me. He did more than he needs to do. He actually didn't need to do anything. It's not his obligation, but he always thinks, oh no, I must to. And I asked him many, many times, Elliot, why are you so nice? And then he said, because I'm nice. I have to be nice. Okay. And he is a great person. He is the most decent human being I have ever met. I've met so many nice people because of my dad's issue, but I cannot say that anyone could done as much as Elliot. He means a lot, not only to me and to my entire family members. We really appreciate him, and I feel so fortunate to know him, to meet him. And I've only known him for like 4 years, maybe compared to most of you here, it's nothing. But because most of you guys maybe like you are his colleagues and known him maybe for more than 20 years. I'm only 22 now, but so 4 years. These 4 years are really the most important years of my life because it changed completely. Like it's totally different my life was totally different before I came here, and then Elliot involved in every small or big changes of my life, and I've improved a lot. And then I can say that none of those self-improvements, like improvements for myself, were without Elliot's help. Even now, whenever I get better, because I know because of how Elliot taught me, and I keep remembering, in this case, what would Elliot say? If I do this, what would Elliot say? What kind of suggestion, advice would Elliot give me at this time? I always think about it. Whenever in the class, whenever I think about something else, where I want to look at my phone, sometimes then I'm like, oh, no. Elliot might be really angry, like, Jewher, study, we did this and that. That's how he talks all the time. And I remember the last time I saw him was on the 16th of February. Yeah, I went to New York for a conference. He walked me all the way from his apartment at Jackson Heights to UN. And because he thinks that, no, you are a little young lady, you cannot find your way, I have to take care of you. He always thinks to take care of others. And that's also the Martin Danielson word we were in together. I remember when I first know the news of Elliot who was passed away, and I couldn't talk to anybody for a few days. I just wanted to stay home, and when people contacted me, I just didn't pick the phone. I feel so sorry for those people, but I apologize. But it was a very hard time for me, and I remember Öse was texted me on Twitter, and she said, I am looking at the pictures of you and Ella standing on the stage accepting Martin Daniels Award. And she told me that look at his eyes, and then I saw the video of the ceremony. He looked at you like looking at his own daughter. Oh, it's really nice. And I kept looking at those pictures that we took together. I still have some more at home. I didn't post it here, and I actually have tons of them of us we took together at Bloomington before he left, but my phone broke. So, but I'm glad that at least, even though he's not in Bloomington anymore, I still got to have chance to go to New York and go to Europe with him and got to spend time with him. He's a really, you can learn things every minute when you stay with him. Every second, you can learn something. He's like, he always gives people wise suggestions. Family forever. And I remember one of the reporter when he interviewed me, like, what does Elliot mean to you personally? I said, he means a lot. He took lots of roles in my life. A friend, my best friend. A teacher taught me a lot, my best teacher. I learned the most from him compared to my other professors. And my uncle, my family forever.
Thank you.